Well, well. Welcome to my very compassionate, of course, passionate episode of Unraveled Minds, Unmasked, where we embark on a journey to uncover the profound connection between culture wars and our mental well-being. I'm your host, Dr. Fumi Stephanie Hancock. I'm a very proud Nigerian princess that's living in diaspora. And of course, today we are unmasking a crisis that often lurks beneath the surface, affecting us all more deeply than we might realize. Right? So, welcome aboard this ship, as I usually say. So, today, let's talk about cultivating unity, nurturing cultural understanding and resilience, yes, in Nigerian youths. I am blessed to be one of those that can call Nigeria my home and also America my home. But today I want to segue into my beloved Nigeria. So I'm going to talk about cultivating culture, cultivating unity amongst our culture, and particularly amongst our Nigerian youths. So if you are listening via way of my podcast, if you are watching via way of my YouTube, welcome aboard this ship again. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my sincere hope that in this very brief, and I mean very brief, enlightening episode of my podcast series, I, Dr. Fumi Hancock, will attempt to dive deep into the heart of critical topic that shape our world. Today's journey for me, it's more important than ever. This is about cultivating unity and nurturing cultural understanding and resilience in Nigeria's youth. And how many of you know that I come home very often to deal with Nigerians, especially my Nigerian youth. I've been known to be one of the pioneers of grants, which offer grants to many of my Nigerian babies, and I call them my babies. I love them a lot. Many of them are now graduates, and I'm so proud of them. So, we often say in Nigeria that our youths are our future. So, let's go there, shall we? I know that some of us will be very critical of this episode. Let's just put that out there right now. It's perfectly fine, as we are not created equal, right? Our diversity is what makes us unique. However, I ask this of you. If you're listening, if you're watching, I ask this of you, that when you make comments or send in your comments, be respectful, right, of each other's views. I also ask this of you, that you watch or listen to this with an open mind. After all, we can either be part of those who complain, right, and offer no solutions, then touch our beloved country with their anger, or we can choose to stand firmly with concrete information behind us and not disinformation. Make that choice to help our beloved country, Nigeria, which is truly the giant of Africa. Having said this, I want to thank you again for staying tuned in with me. So, Nigeria and Africa as a whole, we stand at a crossroads right now, in the midst of a tense political atmosphere, marred by rampant misinformation. It's time to bridge the gaps and build a stronger tomorrow. Let me quickly debunk this for you. This podcast is apolitical underscore. but stand on the side of those who choose to build up our country in spite of what may belabor it right now. Today's topic for me: cultivating unity, nurturing cultural understanding and resilience in Nigeria's youth. This hits close to home for me as a Nigerian. Our beloved Nigeria has a rich tapestry of cultures and traditions woven together, a tapestry that deserves our utmost respect and understanding. From the north to the south to the east, we deserve respect. But amidst the noise and confusion, our unity often gets tested. Misinformation and disinformation, like wildfire, spreads unchecked, further dividing us. But here's the deal. We as Nigerians, either living in Nigeria or in diaspora, we have a choice. We can let misinformation tear us apart, or we can rise up above it. Remember, this is about misinformation. This is about talking about culture wars and the impact of misinformation and culture wars in our beloved Nigeria. I know that some of you might be listening right now, and the first thing you want to say is talk about politics. But here's the truth. Let's start by fostering cultural understanding, by taking the time to learn about and appreciate each other's backgrounds, either Yorubas or Hausas or Igbos. And I'm telling you right now, I have powerful testimonies to this. It's just not time to share. When the time comes to share, trust me, you will be the first to know. So if you're an Igbo and you're listening today, if you're Yoruba that you're listening today, if you are Yoruba and you're listening today, if you are Fulani and Hausa and listening today, our culture foster cultural understanding. By taking the time to learn about and appreciate each other's backgrounds, we can break down the barriers and promote harmony. The way we do this is not by always fighting, but recognizing that there is a time for everything under the sun. Because I didn't win a post today does not preclude me of it tomorrow. But I want you to hear this. If I work hard and work hand in hand with those who win today, regardless of what political party, regardless of what political strengths, regardless of what I may or might not know, if I work hand in hand with them, with those who win today, regardless of what we may hear or not hear, we are essentially helping to build a nation strong enough for you, my dear one, to lead in the future. And that's not all. Resilience is the backbone of any strong society. Our youths are the future, and they need to be equipped with the tools to discern fact from fiction. Can I say that again? Our youths, our today's youths, my brothers and sisters, are the future, and they need to be equipped with the tools to discern fact from fiction. Critical thinking and media literacy are essential skills in this digital age. By nurturing these skills, we indeed empower our youths to question and verify information, ensuring they make informed choices. Misinformation can take root in absence of knowledge, and critical thought. But remember this, unity doesn't mean uniformity. Can I say that again? Unity doesn't mean uniformity. Our diversity is our strength, Nigeria. Our diversity is our strength, Africa. So let's celebrate our differences and find common grounds. That's where true progress lies. And this goes for America, where I currently reside. I know that this is just about combating misinformation, right? But then again, is it? It's about sowing the seeds of empathy and compassion. I remember several years ago when I went back home in Nigeria, and I was driving and I was almost hitting the junction of a place, an underpass, a bridge underpass. There was a dead body on the ground. And I stood there and I watched how people stepped over the dead body just to catch a bus. Wow. That moved me a lot. And I began to wonder that are we as a nation losing our empathy? Are we as a nation losing our compassion? Because frankly, if we dare to lose our empathy and our compassion, then we're done. When we truly understand one another's struggles, hopes, and dreams, we as a nation, we create a society that is stronger and more resilient in the face of any challenges. And my God, doesn't the whole world have challenges these days? But let's not kid ourselves. This journey won't be without its hurdles. That's a fact. We're navigating through tense political atmosphere, after all. It's therefore crucial that we acknowledge the dangers of divisive narratives and actively work against them when we come upon them, maybe on our social media, maybe on the TV, maybe on the radio, maybe on podcasts. We need to combat them right away. Because frankly, Nigeria's future, your future, my future, depends on this. It's time for us to rise above the noise, to be the change that we want to see. I know that sounds like a cliche that we've heard before, but it is the truth. We as a nation have the power to shape the narrative, to cultivate unity, and to ensure that our youths are equipped with the tools to build a brighter future. Be it Nigeria, be it Africa as a whole, be it America, United States of America, be it Europe, we have that power. Being the change doesn't mean not giving our leaders the chance to fix things. Yes, I can hear it now. We have given them so many chances. Well said. I hear you loud and clear. However, today is another day, right? So, listen to what other choice. Listen to what other choice. Listen. What other choice do you have? Then to stand your ground respectfully, firmly, but making a difference by not touching the country with disinformation. Rather, joining hands with our leaders to make Nigeria greater or greatest. How do we make this happen? I'm glad you asked. I want to hear from you about this. You never know which of our leaders may be hearing this. So, Let's join hands together to say no to culture wars in Nigeria, no to political violence in Nigeria. Let's simply say yes to a nation we can either help to rebuild or destroy. Ultimately, the choice is yours and mine. The choice is yours and mine. So, I encourage you to send your comments to Ask Dr. Fumi, F-U-M-I. Ask Dr. D-R Fumi, A-S-K-D-R-F-U-M-I at web, W-E-B, psych, P-S-Y-C-H, DMP.com. Ask Dr. Fumi at webpsychdmp.com. As I wrap up today's episode, I urge you, my dear listeners or watchers, I urge you to take action, engage in conversation, concrete, solid conversations that make sense, conversations that promote understanding, support initiatives that foster resilience, and challenge misinformation whenever you encounter it. Together, we can create a Nigeria where unity and cultural understanding prevail. Well, I can't help but quote a very, very powerful leader. Yes, one of our current leaders. I am choosing to keep his name now because the time is not ripe for exposure. I have to be honest, I was deeply touched by what he said to me when I decided to reach out about misinformation flying across the internet and the impact of culture wars in our nation, Nigeria. He said this, and I quote, Ali bin Abu Talib says, "Power does not change a man, but reveals a man." After spending 8 years as a governor of, I'm going to keep that, a beautiful state, I was subjected to all manners of attacks. I was demonized, I was dehumanized, and I was even called the founder of Boko Haram. But not for a single day did I decide to embark on any form of revenge. Agur said, "The truth that sets men free is the truth that men prefer not to hear." People should understand, this is his message to Nigeria. People should understand that we are not saints on an evangelical mission. Therefore, like any other person, we will stumble and we may stumble here and there. However, none of these mistakes shall be intentional, and that we shall never be oblivious of the impermanence of this power. And we acknowledge that we shall be judged by man, time, and God. Winston Churchill once said that truth is so precious that it has to be surrounded by the bodyguards of lies. That's powerful. And then he ended, "We are here to serve, to listen, and to be held accountable for all that we do." End quote. My fellow Nigerians, not all of our leaders are corrupt. Can we just agree to disagree on that? Some, and perhaps very few, are truly trying to put their best foot forward. But because the nation has been in so much turmoil, we are not ready to see the efforts or even hear of it. The question then is this: what is your solution? If I came to your neighborhood and I happened to arrest a thief in your neighborhood today, Does that make you and everyone else in that neighborhood thieves? I know many of us are very tired, rightfully so. I also know few leaders who are tired. Leaders who at 2 a.m. they are still working on our behalf. Yes, that's right. I know it's hard to believe that. How will we change our country, Nigeria, if we lump all our leaders together? How will anything change if we help to perpetuate misinformation across platforms? I want to thank you for joining me on this heartful journey. And remember, change begins with us. So stay tuned, stay compassionate, and above all, stay united. Yes, and this concludes today's episodes on cultivating unity, nurturing cultural understanding, and resilience in Nigeria's youth. I'll be back with more thought-provoking discussions. So stay tuned. Until next time, be inspired, be motivated, be of sentimental value. Remember that our voices, your voices, can change the world. Take care and be the light. It's bye for now.